Hi, this is Steve Siebold, and welcome to the Mental Toughness University video training process. By now, you've been through the 6-hour live seminar, and you're ready to run with the world class. For the next 12 months, we're going to dissect the differences between middle class and world class performers, and we're going to explore all the mental toughness critical thinking tools in this process. I hope you're excited, because all of these tools have a proven track record, and all you have to do is give them a try. The first tool we're going to discuss is the mental and emotional habit of operating from objective reality. After 30 years of research and experience with employees from companies around the world, I've discovered that most middle-class performers suffer from mild to severe delusion as it relates to their job performance. The lowest level performers tend to overrate themselves, while the highest level performers tend to underrate themselves. Now, this is great news for the ambitious person, because if you can ground your thinking in objective reality, you are in the very top echelon of all professionals. Let me give you an example. One of the key questions we've asked Fortune 500 salespeople for the past 20 years is this. Based on your sales results, would you say you are a good performer, a very good performer, or a great/world-class performer? Guess what percentage of salespeople rate themselves as great/world-class performers? 82%. You heard it right, 82%. And when we go to their managers and ask him or her what percentage of their team is getting great results, guess what they say? About 5%. That means that in corporate America, there's a 77% delusion factor. Now you might be asking, why is this important? Well, the answer lies in the behavior of the salesperson that honestly believes he or she is great at selling. Typically speaking, what do we do when we think we are already great or world class at something? We coast, right? I mean, it's like driving a car. Most of us believe we are pretty good drivers. Just ask us, right? So let me ask you this. When was the last time you practiced your driving skills? I'm not asking when was the last time you drove a car. I'm asking you when was the last time you practiced driving a car? Probably the same as me. Never. Why? Because we already believe we're great drivers. And a lot of us are probably wrong. The good news is being a decent driver is good enough to stay safe and usually get you where you're going. Now in sales, it's a different story. The best salespeople can write their own ticket. The worst salespeople eventually lose their jobs, and the middle-class salesperson struggles his or her entire career. They do well enough to survive, but not well enough to thrive. Being a middle-class salesperson is a very tough way to make a living, and it's unnecessary. Anyone that applies him or herself to moving from middle class to world class can make the leap. And it all begins with looking at objective reality, looking objective reality right in the eye, as a matter of fact, and facing the facts. Now in sales, everything you need to know is in the numbers. Yet many middle-class salespeople disagree with this. They cite dozens of outside circumstances that prevent them from succeeding, and most of these people honestly believe their own excuses. That's the power of self-delusion and why it's such a destructive force. The absolute proof that destroys the delusion of the middle-class salesperson is when you compare their sales numbers to the numbers of the salespeople in the top 5%. If these outside obstacles were valid excuses for failure, why is the top 5% of the sales force overcoming them? Ultimately, if we're going to become critical thinkers and world-class salespeople, we have to adopt a no excuses, high performance mindset. Here's another proof example of this concept. Let's say I recruit a world-class performer like Oprah Winfrey to join your sales team. Here's the question. How long do you think it would take before she was on the top of the sales force? Okay, how about a great athlete like Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods? Or maybe even a politician like Hillary Clinton or a businessman like Donald Trump. We all know these people would eventually climb to the top of the sales team. So why is that? Is it because they have years of experience in your industry or they're experts in your product or service? No, it's because of the way they think. And at Mental Toughness University, we call this world-class thinking. So now that we've defined and dissected the concept of objective reality, let's discuss how to use this psychological tool to sell more, make more money, and create ultimate job security. Step number 1 is to evaluate your sales performance, starting with your sales numbers. Step 2 would be to ask your manager how he or she would rate your performance. As you're going through this process, be reminded that this is an unemotional evaluation, not an indictment or personal attack. Numbers are numbers, and they never lie, not at least in the long term. Once you've completed these steps, it's time to chart your course to world-class sales success. I recommend setting some goals on your own and also asking your manager his or her opinion of the numbers. Ask your manager this exact question. What kinds of numbers would I have to hit to become the most successful salesperson on this team? You know, in all my years of discussing this concept with sales managers, they always say the same thing. No one has ever asked me that question. Interesting, huh? Once you and your manager agree on the number, it's time to create the sales strategy to make it happen. Again, your manager will help you devise a plan. After you begin to implement your plan and the sales start to flow, always remember to stay in objective reality when rating your results and your performance. This will help guarantee that you not only get to the top, but that you stay there. Please answer the questions from this session on the website. This will be the process each and every week. It will only take you a few minutes to do this. For Mental Toughness University, I'm Steve Siebold. See you next week.